Okay, I was at work today, and I've been meaning to do this for a month now, and I haven't had a chance. Um, I keep forgetting today. This is one of the things that I'm I plan to do before Phase 6 release. Is that there's a lot of consumes that you need. I just thought of this when I saw the the new stuff that they're going to release and they're going to add in this coming Phase 6. A few of them are the flask. Right now, the flasks are really cheap. Distilled wisdom. I mean, there's still 15 gold. If you make this with the materials you have, you're gonna spend at least 30 gold. That's what I could find, because one of the ingredients in this recipe is dream foil. That's one word, I think. Dream foil. Now, dream foil, they're not too bad, but you need 30 of these to make a distilled wisdom. You know, and they cost 8. That's 24 gold right there for 30. So buying a one distilled wisdom, you could save a lot of money. It's only 15 gold, 16, let's say. And on top of that, you have to buy a couple more. I think ice cap is one of them. Those aren't that bad. Yeah, I think you only need like 5 or 3 or something like that. But the other one is Black Lotus, right? So you get 12 gold right per Black Lotus. Black Lotus Dream Foil, and that's almost 40 gold right there. Give or take 35 to 40 gold. If you could just buy a distilled wisdom for 15 gold, 16 gold. Now, what I'm getting with this is that before Phase 6 hits, my plan was to go to the auction house, where I am now, and buy a bunch of these cheap consumes and materials, and maybe resell them later when after Phase 6 release, because they are going to be a lot expensive. Well, let's hope so. So what I want to do is I'm gonna try this for my. I'm gonna try this to see if we can make more money, we can make more gold after Phase 6 release. Right now, and one of the reasons why I wanted distilled wisdom, or even like any flask, the Titan flask and the Spell Power flask. You gotta get those two, because one of the key ingredients on the new flask that's coming out are these basic flask. You need the flask of distilled wisdom to create the newer flask for Phase 6. That comes with healing, I think. It's on the wowhead, and I saw this today, and I kept thinking, maybe I can go to the auction house, just buy a bunch of these. Right now I have 3,000 gold that I could spend. So let's start by, and also this is another thing too. It's greater shadow resist protection potion, and right now they are only 4 or 5 gold. They used to be like 3 gold, but it's gotten up and down. The cheapest I've seen so far was like 1 gold, 80 silver, but that was like maybe a month ago. I should have just bought a bunch of them then, but it just didn't occur to me, like, at all. I was just playing the game and not thinking about uh, consumes that you need for phase 6 or anything like that. So right now too, greater shadow protection is a major, it's a major consumable for next phase, and the phase after that too, Naxxaramas. So if you have the money to buy them, a bunch of them, do it now. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to send all my money to this character here. And I will be buying a bunch of consumables. I don't really have a lot of space in here. And I already bought a bunch of nature protection potion too. This is probably not enough, but I'm probably going to be buying some more. Let's see.
Farewell.
Also, I can save a bunch of consumables too on this coming raid if I, if I decided to keep some of them. So that's a plus too if you want to do that. And what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna grab most of my gold, send it to that character, and then buy a bunch of stuff. That is the plan. Let's put 800 gold, 8,000. Yeah, right. Okay. Let's do the screen mats. And like I said, you gotta buy the greater shadow protection potions. The distilled wisdom, the spell power, and the titan. Those are the main ones. There's one for attack power, but I think that's the one that's the shadow flask, I think, that you need it from shadow. I just wanted to do this right away, just to record it, and I forgot what it's called. Okay. So, for Flask of the Old Gods, it's increased stamina by 100 and defense value for 2 hours. And you need the Flask of the Titans as one of the main ingredients. Flask of Madness, which increases attack power for 50 for 2 hours. And that one you need a Flask of Chromatic Resistance, which is a lot more expensive than the regular the flask. So Flask of Ancient Knowledge, this is requires the supreme power, damage done by magical spells by 180. And this is the one that I'm talking. That was the one that I was talking about. Is the Distilled Wisdom. The Flask of Unyielding Sorrow is the new flask that's coming out, and this increases magical spells, healing magical spells, up to 80, and damage magical spells effects by 27, and mana regen for 12. So that's very big for healing casters, where Distilled Wisdom only provides you with 1200 mana. So let's get this rolling. First, I'm going to see if I could do some Greater Shadow first. Let's be honest, this is probably the cheapest one that's probably gonna be out here for a while. I'm gonna keep looking in here this weekend too, just to see if there's any differences. So I don't want to risk it now, but just to play it safe, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of them. Let's see. This sounds right, about like 93% value. Let's see, 93%. Right, there's the lowest one so far. So I'm just gonna buy a bunch of these, to be honest. So let's do it. I have 2,000 gold to spend. Let's spend it all on this. At least the majority of it. So let's start. And I hope that I'm right about this, because Greater Shadow Protection it's like the number one consume right now that you're going to need for phase 6, especially with the last boss in AQ40, and also for Naxxramas is gonna be, you need shadow protection potion over there. So I'm gonna buy a bunch of these. I already have. You can get greater nature protection too, but I already bought a bunch of them. So right now I'm 1700. I want to save a little bit for. Oh crap! Scan again. Search. Because these are going to get really really expensive. I remember these goes for 16 gold back in classic. This is gonna be a difference, but you never know. This is what I'm gambling on, that I need to do. You could also grab Black Lotus. I don't know if I want to do this. They're 11, 12 gold right now. You could do that, but right now since Black Lotus requires a few more recipe ingredients, and it's gonna be more expensive trying to make a flask by getting Black Lotus and other things. I figured, why not just buy the actual flask, and it's super cheaper. So let's put that on a test. And since I remember Distilled Wisdom was way cheaper than the Spell Power ones, and Titan one was kind of the same price. So I'm gonna go for the Spell Power one, Supreme Power. So the Supreme Power one is actually cheaper right now than the Distilled Wisdom. So I'm gonna buy a bunch of flasks of Supreme Power too. Make sure that I want to get the stack ones too, if they are selling them that way. It's 536 right now, but well, maybe we can wait. But yeah, I suggest you guys do the same thing. And keep checking the auction house.
I'm out of range.
Just to make money, and if you have any other ideas, I mean, you could share in the comments. I'd appreciate that. Look at all the shadow protection potion.
What brings you here?
Shadow protection potion is gonna make a lot of difference. I'm not gonna promise you that, but from my experience in classic, these goes for at least 11, 15 gold when they released AQ40 and Naxxramas. So you could hold on to your shadow protection potions. So yeah, I gotta get back to work. So hope you like this little kind of what to do before phase 6 release. So yeah, good luck and thanks.